So this video is picking up where the other video left off. I can see about if I can smash them together, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm probably just going to keep them as two separate videos. Catherine, you're good. Kat, you're good. We don't need to. You don't need to put your name in here again because I'm not. Yeah, I'm not concerned about it right now. Anyway, so here we go. We're going through this here, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to keep waking him up because that just seems like it's cruel punishment to him. I'm going to keep letting him sleep. So I'm just going to talk about dogs in general and not him specifically. Dog, 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 dog. Yeah, he doesn't care about if I say the word dog. So, okay, here we go. So we're going to do this. You can't hear me. Let me see. Wait, why can you not hear me? Well, then I'll keep this on so you can hear me through both of them. All right. So I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs. Put your hands up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. All right. So, is it weird that I'm dancing? No, you should be dancing. It's a trap song. How can you not dance to trap? Okay, so what we're going to do is here. You heard me say I put your hands up at one point, but we're going to record that again in a second here. So I've got this vocal part here, and we're going to actually rename this vocal chorus 1. And I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this down here and call this one vocal chorus 2. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to use this. Now, you see how I just like record it in a loop, and it's just because I've got my loop turned on here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these back on, all these here, turn these back on as well. There we go. Turn that off so we don't hear the whisper of everything. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this back like this. And you can see when I drag it back, it's actually got everything we just did. And that's because, remember, just like in Pro Tools, when you record a loop, it's just recording it over and over and over again. The same as Pro Tools, same as Logic. They all work exactly the same way in this regard. So no differences there. Just keep in mind that it does that. Just remember that. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut it here. I'm going to cut 8 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. And I'm going to cut 8 bars like this, using Command E to cut these. And then what I'm going to do is, let's duplicate these again. And I'm just going to grab each one and just chuck it in here like that. And just delete these out like that. Boom. And I'm just going to drag this back. I'm holding down Option here just to drag back this last little bit right before we got to it there. And now basically what I've got here is I've just got everything doubled, and I'm just going to cut out this part. Put your hands up, that part right there. I'm just going to cut that out because we don't need that right now. And all the stuff here. Cut this out as well. There we go. And we don't need that one. Cool. Okay. Now let's listen to this. I'm going to mute these here. Let's listen to this first one. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs. Cool. Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Okay, cool. And we've instantly got it just set up and like a little chorus thing going on. And I'm just going to pan these hard left and hard right So we have a little bit of that going on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to group all these together. Now, remember we talked about how to do subgrouping yesterday, but let me just go over it again. I'm going to do it in this view here. And it's the same way we did it in Pro Tools and in Logic as well. What I'm doing is I'm going to just create a new track here. Now, the only difference is when we're creating subgroups in Ableton Live is we don't make an aux track. And the reason why we don't make an aux track is because there are no aux tracks. So I'm just going to make a track here. I'm going to call this one vocal chorus group. Give it the name you want. And then what we do is we go over here to our tracks we want to send to it. And we send it to, instead of the master, I just shift clicked them to highlight them all. And we just send it to our vocal chorus group. There are no aux channels in Ableton Live. There's no real buses in Ableton Live either. The way you send things around is you just send it, you just name the track and you just send it to that name. Now that does make it a little bit constrained compared to Pro Tools and Logic. Pro Tools and Logic, the way that buses work in them is a little bit more open-ended. It gives you a little bit more freedom. Ableton Live, it's a little bit more constricted. You have a little bit less that you can do with it, but it's okay. You can actually work around as much as you need to. And I'm gonna highlight these all. I'm gonna turn them all green here, like this. And I just turn my monitor to in like this, and now I like furry little dogs. Furry little dogs. Furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs. Furry little dogs, 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 furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Okay, cool. Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs. All right, cool. So we got that in here, our furry little dogs chorus. And we can see over here, here it is, boom. Let's just do that one more time. I like furry little dog. Yeah, awesome. That sounded pretty good there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna record the next part here. This is the put your hands up section, and it's gonna be its own little track. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna duplicate one of these tracks to handle that. So I'm gonna hit Command D on the track, I'm gonna drag it down here. Make sure that the output is no longer going to the chorus group. We're just gonna have that go to the master. It's just gonna be one track there. And then I'm just gonna rename it vocal hands up, like that. And we're just gonna record that, put your hands up. So we have that section there. Just have the record arm here. I'm gonna have it set to off and just hit F9 to begin the recording process and hit go. Now, I actually don't have to hit F9 right now. I can hit play and then hit F9 when I'm ready. So we could do it that way, we can do it the other way, depending on how you wanna do it. I usually just kinda hit F9 in the beginning so I don't have to worry about hitting it, but this is such an easy line, I can maybe hit it right before. Wait, let's go ahead and turn this off. The reason what that just happened is because it was still set to start time here. I don't need that anymore. I'm just gonna go over here to this. I'm gonna click right there. So now it's gonna start playback from here. Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your hands up! Awesome. Okay, so we got that there. Boom. Let's go ahead. It's got the same effects on it that everything else had. Furry little dogs, put your hands up! Awesome. Great. Let's turn this loop off. And we're gonna change the synth line here. This synth line will reserve it so it's just in the verse and not in the chorus. Change the color of this one here so we know it's a slightly different thing that we're saying. I'm gonna hit my F8 key, which is gonna change the color of all my tracks, and that's something, like I said before, I've actually got that set up through a different program to do that. We can have another talk about that in a different class. So I got this over here. Let's go to this. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your hands up. Okay. So what I did just there was I just highlighted the section. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of arranging this as it plays so that we're, you know, just kind of working, doing a few things at one time as we go with this. And the way I just did that was, here, let me just back this up and show you everything I just did kind of in slow motion. So first of all, I went over here to the snare drum loop and I decided, you know what I want to do? I want to get rid of the last couple snare parts here. So I'm just going to grab these and I hold down Command and I drag this back like this. So what's going to happen is in the end, I like furry little dog. We got a little pause in the drums there, which is going to help us out really well. It's nice to get that little pause going on so we can start it back up again. And I just thought, you know what, I should definitely have a part in the song where the drums stop and I should say pause, right? Because it's a song about dogs. Yeah. And we also need to change the second chorus can be about furry little cats. There we go. Yeah. It can be a song about dogs or cats is better, right? Yeah, that's what we're going to do with this. Okay, so the next thing I did was I decided this first chorus here is only going to be, it's going to be shorter than I'd initially made it, right? And this is what I'm saying about, you know, we talked about you don't need to worry about your song is going to be finished right from the beginning, and people, you know, they're trying like, oh, I can't, you know, once I do it, can I change it? Yes, absolutely, you can change it. I laid this out, and I'm changing it all over the place, right? I don't want to keep it the same way that it always was. I want to throw some different things in it. So I want the verse to start here, my second verse. So we're going to go over here. We're going to add another locator in here. It's going to be V2. and V just stands for verse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change up my loop that I have here. So I'm going to copy over these loops from my first verse over here. Hit Command C to copy. And I'm just going to paste them in. I just click here and I hit Command V and it pastes them in right there. Boom. Now I want this verse to be the same length as this verse over here. And the way I can do that is with Ableton Live, we can hit Command-Shift-D. Now over here, let's see, where is it? It's Edit Duplicate Time. Under Edit, we go to Duplicate Time right here, Command-Shift-D. You can paste time, you can copy, you can cut time out, which is Command-Shift-X, Command-Shift-V to paste time, Command-Shift-D to duplicate time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, I'm going to loop it, but I want to loop it before it gets to the second break here. So Command-Shift-D duplicates my time right there. And as you can see, you know, I did it so fast that you didn't even notice what it did. And I'm going to get rid of this hand clap here. I should have cut that out. And this bass line here, I'm going to put that bass line in here as well. Now, one thing you'll notice is when my tracks are collapsed like this, see how this bass loop is like it's small. If I want to make it bigger, I can open up that arrow. But basically, if it's small, I can't grab within the clip in here. Like, see how I can select part of my clip in here? Well, if it's small like this, it only grabs the whole entire clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my bass loop A sharp 1. And I'm going to drag over here to make it bigger, and I'm going to paste right here. Boom. Paste it in here. So now we get over here. Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your hands up. Cool, and I'm going to cut this guitar out here as well. Let's see, can I do that? Yes, I can do that. I can do whatever I want. I'm in charge here. I'm going to make this smaller, make this like this, because I just want everything over here, and I didn't copy it over. I should have just copied everything over from my chorus, but I did not. So we're going to cut out the bass line as well, because I don't want any of this. And I'm holding down, remember, I'm holding down Option to drag this over. Oh, thanks, AJ. That's cool. Boom, I'm holding down Option. I just drag that over, and I'm going to get rid of this one as well. That's awesome, AJ. Thanks for pasting that in there. Let's listen to this one more time. I'll listen from halfway. Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your hands up. All right, so this here, I might actually have to do a mute on this here if that guitar part won't cut. And the way we can do a mute is I'm just going to go into my automation by hitting A. I'm going to turn my track on and off real quick. And now I'm just going to draw that in right there. There we go. Now, I did that really fast. We're gonna come back to that another time because we have a whole class dedicated to automation in Ableton Live. I just wanted to explain it as I go, just so when you're watching the video, if you want to rewind that, you can. But we're not gonna stop to look at that right now. We're just gonna listen to it to make sure it sounds good. Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your hands up. Yeah. All right, let's add a little piano part into the second verse as well. Yeah, let's add a little piano part in here. So we're gonna get this one, we're just gonna call this one a piano. And for our piano sound, we'll use Contact. Contact's up here under my instruments. I'm gonna drag that on here. We'll use Contact, but we're gonna put some effects on it and stuff. We're gonna use the, where's my Alicia Keys piano? Is it right here? There it is. But when we're done with it, it's certainly not going to sound like Alicia Keys piano. And I'm just going to do like a basic little boring line here with it. Just something like, you know. Something like that. No, nothing really interesting. Maybe up an octave. That's kind of cool sounding. Yeah, let's see if that fits in. And I'm like, the way I do stuff is I don't usually look at like what my keys are. I just kind of listen to it and hear what it sounds like and see if I like it. So we're gonna loop this here, boom. Now what I'm gonna do is, and this is a really cool thing that you can do with Ableton Live, and this is something that I recommend that you try to get in the habit of doing, is I just looped. Okay, we'll see, AJ, we'll see. I just looped this section here, my verse, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into my arrangement view, sorry, my session view. I just looped this part of the arrangement, and I'm gonna go back into my session view, and now I'm gonna record stuff into my session view. See. To change those chords up a little bit. Cool, so I'm going to play that, and we're just going to go ahead and hit play over here on this one. Okay, that sounds pretty good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this up an octave, and to do that I'm actually gonna use, I'm just gonna click in here. First of all, I'm gonna crop this clip. I'm gonna right click on it and crop it so it's not everything that I just played, because I don't need everything because most of that was garbage. And we're gonna go over here and play it. And I'm gonna put it up an octave. I'm gonna highlight something in here, or I don't have to highlight anything. I just hit Command A in here, and I'm gonna use my arrow keys to go up one octave. What the heck? Oh, sorry, that was shift arrow keys. Sorry. Okay, you can't really hear what they're doing, so let's keep it down here. Let's mute this one here for a second. right, that's sounding pretty cool. I like that effect that's happening from Guitar Rig 5. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to record that effect, because I feel like we're going to need to record that effect a few times. But first, before we do that, I'm going to go over here and cut out some of my low frequencies of this piano. And let's just listen to this piano by itself. Out the effects. Let's make everything legato in here, so I can just click on it, hit the legato button over here on the left. There we go. Sounds better. I don't need to know if I need it to be super legato. Yeah, I like it like this better. All right. Cool, so I like this sound that's happening over here. So I want to make a new track here. And so this is like a second part of what we're going to talk about today with our notes. Let's get our notes up. Just make sure we're still sending signal out. We are good. Good for us. And I'm going to grab my preview here and open Recents, open audio recording. Okay. So essentially in here, we want to record over what's happening from one track to another. We're going to record into the session view. So basically this is the same setup as before, but we're recording into clips, not tracks. Basically recording exactly the same way we just did it, but we're going to record into a clip. And this works the same way for MIDI and audio. So we're going to be talking about MIDI stuff a little bit later on today. So this audio part here, you're going to work it the same way that we did the MIDI. The MIDI part, the audio part, they work the same way. So what we're going to do though is we're going to record from one track to another. And this is using the kind of setup, the busing that we set up before for our subgroup mixing. Basically, we want to set audio 2 to record the tracks to the track's name, or we can set audio from. We have two ways to do it, 1 and 2 here, and they're both in the notes. Set up our audio 2 to record to a certain track, or set up our audio from to record from a certain track. So in order to get this going, let's go ahead and use audio from. I'm going to call this one piano effects. I'm just going to use abbreviations here. And audio from are going to come from my Guitar Rig 5. So I'm going to go in here to audio from on my piano effect track that I just made. I'm going to scroll down here until it says Guitar Rig 5. And I'm going to set it to the sound, say post effects here. I don't want it to say post mixer, because if I change the level of this, it'll change what's being recorded. And I'm going to go in here, I'm going to make this, let's make the piano a light brown color. And let's make this one a light brown color as well, because they're coming from the same thing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hit record on this and record whatever is happening from Guitar Rig 5. So I record on my track, and I'm just going to hit record on one of these clips in here. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to start it one more time. Let's see if I can get it to record that last part. I'm not sure if we are in our LFO is. Yeah, the LFO is synced. I'm going to turn this down. I just want to capture this part right here. Yeah, see how I'm changing the rate here of my LFO? Yeah, I like that. Cool. So what I did was I just controlled my LFO, so I'm recording the part that I really want. And I'm just going to go over here and grab the last what is that, like 8 bars or whatever? Yeah. So I'm going to grab that now, delete this one because we don't want that one. And I'm going to turn this off here, and I'm going to have these two play together. So I'm just going to hit that, and let's just play. Cool. And that sounds pretty good there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these together. Subgrouping, but it's the Ableton Live version of subgrouping. I'm going to group them together by hitting Command G. And we're going to call these ones piano group. And on this one now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a limiter on here. And this limiter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to smash the crap out of this thing. All right. Now this is not something that you normally would do in real life, but we're going to turn that ceiling down. We're going to turn the gain way up. And let's just listen to what this is going to sound like. Yeah. Hear how we're getting some... We're getting a nice mixture of those sounds. And I'm going to go here to my EQ. I'm going to put a fab filter on here to cut down on some of these mid frequencies. Cool. Let's see what that sounds like with our acoustic guitar. Let's change this to major. I kind of like it better major, right? It's kind of nice. And this bass loop is just one note, so we can do whatever we want with the stuff on top of it. Although you don't usually hear trap stuff in a major key, I don't hate it in this major key. It kind of sounds hopeful for dogs and cats around the world, right? Can we be hopeful, guys? Can we be a little bit hopeful? Everything seems like so weird in 2020. Let's make a hopeful song for dogs and cats, shall we? Yeah, I like that. All right, so now one thing we're going to notice is that we've got this piano loop here. Nothing is in here yet, though. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this over into this arrangement view here. We've done everything in our session view so far. And you're probably going to have to watch that video a couple times to see what I did, because I was moving a little bit fast. But we're going to do it a couple more times today. What I've got here is I'm just going to copy and paste this over. So I'm going to hold down Shift and click on both of these clips. I'm going to hit Command C to copy it, hit Tab to pull it over to this window, and I'm going to click on the track here. I'm going to hit Command V, boom, and then I'm going to hit F10 to make it so everything is in this one here. And now yeah, I think that sounds pretty cool, right? Now let's see what's happening with our, yeah, and that works with the guitar. The guitar is fine. Sounds good there. Let's go back and listen from here. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your hands up. I'm sorry, that put your hands up is just so ridiculous. We're gonna keep it. So, all right, Now, let me just show you something that's actually really cool. This is something that we did it in Pro Tools, we did it in Logic. We're going to do it here in Ableton Live, and it's basically the bounce in place thing that we did in Pro Tools. It's called, what Pro Tools is called commit, Logic is called bounce in place, Ableton Live it's called freeze and flatten. So the way we're going to do this is, and the reason we're going to do this is, because I want to keep this piano part like it is. I don't want to change it anymore. It's fine. I like this piano part. I think it sounds pretty good. And I don't need to have that piano eating up my CPU anymore. Now, if I wanted to, what I would probably do at this, swag-tastic. So what I'd probably do at this point, I would do a save as. So this is called Trap Cat. We're going to call it Trap Pets. And I'm going to give it an _01. So it's version 01. Now this is just, it's not version 01 like I'm going to change it crazily, but it's like I like this basic edition of this song. I like this version of the song, what the ideas I'm having right now. And so I'm just going to keep working on this. So I'm going to call it 01. And then I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to give it a version 02. Now what this means is that basically, every time I change something major, I'm going to change the version number. At this point, you should probably take notes. I never do, and it actually kills me sometimes because then I have to go back and find what I was looking for. But as long as you make a change here, I want to keep the piano as MIDI on one version of it, but I want to change it into audio in this version. So I'm going to right-click here, and I'm going to go to Freeze Track. Captain, you waking up? You want to come over here and hang out, or you want to hang out? You want to come over here? No, not yet. Okay. And I'm going to right-click and do freeze, and I'm going to right-click again and do flatten. Boom. And now what that did was it just turned my, well, first of all, I don't need an input there. It turned my piano into audio instead of MIDI. So if I wanted this as MIDI, I would have to, there's a couple other steps I could go through, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. Let me just undo this and just show you something real quick though. If I freeze it, it's still going to be here frozen. It's going to have everything in here, and I can go in here and I can just right click and I can go unfreeze track. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to freeze it without this EQ8. So I'm just going to throw the EQ8 on some other track real quick. And unfortunately, Ableton Live hasn't done, in my opinion, they didn't do the freeze and flatten correctly. Because they should have the options like Pro Tools does or like Logic does, so you can freeze it without the effects. And that's probably coming in a future version. I can't really think of what they're going to be adding into more versions. So probably stuff like that. Although that's just me talking. I hope that they're going to add that into a future version. Anyway, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to freeze this track, right click with no effects on it. There's no effects. This utility doesn't count as an effect. And what it's just doing is it's just freezing the piano part here. The reason I'm doing this is because later on I might want to change that EQ. So I'm going to freeze it, I'm going to flatten, and I'm going to go back here, double click where I dropped the EQ, and I'm just going to put it back on my piano part here. So now we can see I've got my frozen piano part right here. Boom. I'm going to hit solo on it. But we have the original piano part where you can hear those low frequencies in there. Get rid of those low frequencies there, and we've got this stuff here. Awesome. Great. I like that. Is this one major as well? I think I changed it. Yeah, that one's major as well. Cool. All right, so now we've got our Hopeful Pet song here. So I've frozen it, I flattened it. I'm just going to save it again because now it's frozen and flattened. If I wanted to get back to that MIDI part for that piano, it's back in Trap Pets 01. And that's just the thing is, what I learned. One thing I learned a long time ago is that when you're working on a song, you want to make sure that you're saving different versions of it as you go, because you might want to come back and change something back, or you might want to change something up, or you might not like something that you did. For example, I remember a long time ago I was working on a track and I had changed the bass line. I had an original bass line, and then I changed the bass line at some point, and then later on, like a day later or a couple days later or whatever, I went back, I was like, oh, you know what, I actually like that original bass line. and I didn't have it anymore because I had saved over it, and so I had to go back and replay it and kind of mess around with it, which took a lot more time than just being able to drag it into the session. So my point is that you should always save versions as you go, and I've talked to other people. A lot of people do this. Ableton Live does save 10 versions for you as you go along. I don't think that's enough. I have songs where I've got like 20, 30, 40 versions saved because I've just worked on it for such a long time. That's me. I get into things really deep like that. I like to sit with things for a while, as we kind of discussed yesterday. So I've got this here. Now let's go over to the chorus and let's listen. What can we do this chorus? I like furry little dog. Oh, actually, let's get the verse again. Before we get to that chorus. So got this over here. I'm kind of a little bit tired of that guitar for a second. Now you see what I just did? I just muted my guitar part, even though my guitar part does have automation on it. It allowed me to do that. So what I did though, when I muted it, see how that little dot here turned gray instead of orange? And over here, that light came on. Well, if I hit that light, the little dot will be orange or red or whatever color that is again. That means that my automation is re-engaged. If I turn this off, it means my automation is disengaged, and this light comes on and it says, your automation is disengaged. And if we hit shift question mark, we can see this box is called re-enable automation. So if you want to re-enable that automation, you can click it, but I don't want to re-enable it. I want my acoustic guitar to be turned off. So what are some lyrics that we can use for this? See, let's have a verse about dogs and a verse about cats, okay? So we'll have a little verse here, and for this verse, put your paws up. Yeah, oh yeah. Yes, you're absolutely right, actually, AJ. We're gonna have to re-record this put your hands up part here. Here, let's just rename it paws up. There we go. So let's go into here, and let's just write some lyrics real quick. If you have any ideas for lyrics, let me know now. Let's see here. Doggies are our best friends. Friends, I can't spell. And if anybody's still struggling with your lyrics, please just let this here be a lesson to you about how much you do not need to struggle about your lyrics. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. Ha ha ha. And I should spell this right because the grammar police are just outside. I heard them earlier. Let's see. Get messy can with it. And they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere. They don't even care. And we walk around behind them. We walk around all day. Picking. Wow, they poo everywhere and they don't even care. They will poo everywhere. And they don't even care, and we walk around all day. Picking up poo. That doesn't rhyme, but I don't care. All right. Cool. How about a section for cats? That's enough. We'll just shorten the verse and make the verse shorter. Kitties like to think they're cool. Cool. Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. deep thoughts. I hope not many. Oh man, there's some extra people watching. That's embarrassing. Kitties like to think they're cool like dogs. They're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day. Plenty of ways to get cats into Mexican fiesta toilet water thing. Kitty with that litter. You got Mexico on the brain there, Crispy. I feel like maybe you haven't been sleeping. Toilet water. What kind of a chant is that? They sleep all day and they're in the sunshine. Building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. There we go. Oh, Mexican Independence Day. Nice. So you didn't sleep much. Awesome. Okay, so we got these here. I think these are more, I think these are probably half of what our verse is. All right, so we got this here. Here's this over here. And so what I'm gonna do here is let's just see how this works out. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poop everywhere. They don't even care, and we walk around all day picking up poo. Yeah, cool. We're just gonna delete this out. Now the way we delete these, nice, mariachi, I love mariachi. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we are going to hit Command-Shift-Delete to delete this section right here, boom. And we're gonna get rid of this one here. We don't need this break right here. We need the break after this part here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go in here and we're gonna Command-Shift-C to copy everything right there. And we're gonna Command-Shift-V to paste it in right there. Boom, boom, boom. Why did that not work? Hold on a second. Let's do this. Command-L. Command-L, and I'm just gonna highlight that. Command-Shift-C. We're gonna go over here and Command-Shift-V to paste that in. That did not work at all. I actually don't, here. What we're gonna do is this. We're just gonna insert this section here and we're gonna copy this. Boop, boop, boop. I'm just gonna drag it over. There we go, and just move this over here. Cool, and we're gonna do the same for this one. Delete, and we're gonna take this chorus here. Command C and Command V, boom. Okay, so we got that and this. Right click, Command C2, boom. Okay, so the new feature on Twitch. I did not notice the new feature on Twitch, but I'll have to check it out and a little bit later. What's up, Black Book Official? I haven't seen you here for a minute. How you doing, man? All right, we're making really serious songs here about cats and dogs. Nice, nice. Ooh, that's good. Cats and dogs, that's right. All right, so we got this lyrics here for the first part here. Doggies are our best. Okay, so that looks good. And then the second verse over here, kitties like to think they're cool like dogs. They're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so one thing you noticed over here was that the vocals here did not copy over correctly because they got cut. That's what happened. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to drag them. I'm going to highlight all of them like that. Hold down Shift and drag them all over and drag them like that. Boom, just to make sure we got the first part there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to scroll back. Oh my hell. And there we go. Boom. Howls and barks and growls and screeches. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Not a bad thing to do. All right. So verse 1. Cool. So let's go ahead and record this. So now let me show you a cool little trick here for recording verses. And remember earlier I said that we don't actually, Ableton Live doesn't have playlists like Pro Tools does. So we're gonna kind of fake that. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make a new audio track. I'm just gonna grab this one and drag it down. Vocal, verse, take one, and get rid of all this stuff that's on here. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna fake a playlist situation here. What I'm going to do is, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hit Command G on this one track to group that track, and I'm going to call this one vocal verse. And I'm going to take all these effects that I have on this one track here, and I'm just going to drag them onto this main group track here. And now basically anything I put down in here, which I'm just going to hit Command D on these a couple times, anything I put down here is going to be oops, wait, that's the wrong. There we go. One second. Anything I put down here is going to basically go through this verse, this group track here, through the effects that are on it, and I can cut, and I can comp things from down here. So I'm going to make one more track here, duplicate this. I'm going to call this one comp. Now, is this super fun and the best way to do this? Absolutely not, but it's the best solution we have until Ableton gets playlists, which who knows if that's ever going to happen or when it's going to happen or whatever. It does make me sad that Ableton Live does not have playlists yet, but that is just the reality of the situation. So until they get playlists, this is what we're doing. So one more time, what I did was I just took a track, and I just duplicated it, gave them all names for take 1, take 2, take 3, take 4, and I comped them. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop this section here, this verse. I'm going to go ahead and mute this part here. I'm going to loop this section over here, and I'm just going to record into this section over and over again. I'm just going to record that verse a couple times. I'm just going to give me 2 bars here, and I'm going to record into here. Now, it's not going to automatically go down to these next takes. I'm going to have to do that by hand, but that's not too hard to do. I've got everything set up. I'm going to turn on my check 1 2, check check 1 2, check check. Why are we not hearing you? Hey 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 hey. Hey hey hey. Oh, you know why? I think it's because these are probably all going. Yeah, these are all going to my vocal chorus group still, and I don't want to. I wanted to go to my vocal verse group. There we go. Hey, check 1 2, check check check. Okay, cool, great. So I'm going to turn off the microphone on OBS for a second so you can hear this. What is up, y'all? Y'all can still hear this. Great. I'm going to turn off. Hey, hey, hey. There we go. Cool. I'm going to record this here. I'm going to start right here, and we're going to record this verse. Hit F9 to turn on my record, and hit go. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We have to walk around all day, pick and poo up. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. Turn you back on. All right, cool. So now we got this here. And what we're going to do in here is we are going to take these and we're just going to copy them out to these tracks down here. No, that's the wrong. I put that on the wrong one, but that's okay. Don't even matter. You get the point, right? Yep, it works. So here, now I'm just going to drag this over here and we're going to just drag it back and put some points in here. So we got this, this, and this. And now we can just listen to these by themselves. So I'm just going to turn these off. And again, it's not the best solution, but it's not the best solution would be playlists. Turn on this.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, picking poo up. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We have to walk around all day, picking poo up. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends.
Oh, today is just recording audio. Slicing the sample and give their own individual tracks for more automation control and group all the channels for extra processing, aka compression. And you could do that if you wanted to, but what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to grab these and just drag it up. Whoops. I'm just going to grab this part here. Come on. I'm going to turn on my, there we go, and just drag it up. And now I got that one for that, and I'm just going to grab this part for this section here. Boom. And you can see how I can just go through and I can just comp this up top really, really quick. Now, once again, this is not the best solution in the world. You know, if we had playlists in Ableton Live like Pro Tools does, that would be much more fun. But unfortunately, we don't have that. Now, what I am going to do down here, though, this is pretty cool. I like that pick and poo up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, all of these here, I'm just going to delete. I'm just going to hit Command E and mute all these with the 0 key. So now we can hear that pick and poo up on every single track. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this here like this. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up.
All right, and we need to go back here a little bit. And you can hear I kind of grabbed the wrong one there. So let's grab the right one. This one here is the right one, I think. Wait, is that one?
But they don't care.
Yeah, that one's the right one. Let's take that. Yeah. So I'm just going to drag that up, get rid of this. Just listen from here.
Poo everywhere. They don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up.
Awesome.
Doggy.
Yep, there we go. That sounds good there. Oh yeah, absolutely excessive, but we're just, you know, whatever.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere. They don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. Doggies.
Awesome. Got that there, boom. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's very similar to FL Studio from what I've seen of FL Studio. I haven't actually used FL Studio. So there we go. So we got this here. We got our verse one here. Boom. Cool. Now let's go over here and do the same thing for our cat section here. We got our verses. Boop. Picking poo up everywhere. Yep. How'd you go to adding to the recording? You just literally just hit record where you want to record it. So for example, here, I'll show you in the cat section over here. Let's go ahead down here to this part here. I'm going to go ahead and click on this and put that back in the middle because that's going to get annoying real quick. Turn that off. Check 1, 2. Okay, you can hear that. So let's record this cat section. I'm going to back that up there 2 bars. Start there. Make sure we're good to record on this track. Yep. Turn off my OBS microphone because we don't need that anymore. Oh, wait. Let's put this back up to 0, though. There we go. No, wait. Not that. Put you back to 0. There we go. Cool. Now y'all can hear me.
All right. So we get in here. We're good. Kitties like to think that. Okay. So I got my lyrics that I just wrote that are fire. I'm not going to hear anybody tell me differently. And we're going to record. Hit F9 to get this record button on. and we're gonna hit go. Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. Okay, we're gonna need definitely an extra bar in there. So I'm just gonna move this. We definitely need an extra bar in there, so I'm just gonna move this over like this. And let's go ahead and insert just a bar of silence. That'll be pretty funny, I think. There we go. So I just put a bar of silence in there. I'm going to keep some claps going there. Just going to copy and paste these over here like this. Boop, boop. Okay, and now it's going to loop that around. Oh, it doesn't mess up the time signature, but it'll totally mess up the timing, which why not? Why can't we do that? I can do whatever I want. I do what I want. All right, F9 to hit that record button going. And here we go. We're going to talk about our cats. Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. Oh my God. Like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. Oh my God. Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up all night. Oh my God. Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. Ugh. There we go. It's totally too long,
but that's intentional, and that's going to be hilarious. I promise. I promise. No, I did it on purpose. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take this, and now we're going to take this one, and we're going to do the same thing. And now, here's another way we can do this. What we can do is we can go down here, and this is a pretty cool way we can do this. We can double-click on it, and see how this is like a little bit more advanced, but I want to show you this. It's a way to chop these things up a little bit easier. So I have this whole take, and I just looped that whole section, right? So what I can do is down here in the bottom section, and it's really cool, but it's a little bit more advanced. But if I click on my loop section up here in the top, and I hit the down arrow, it'll loop backwards by its loop length. So check this out. So if you can see, everything's going to shift in here. So this one here, it's going to shift over. Well, hold on a second. We need to turn the loop on, sorry. Loop on. Loop has to be on right here. Boom. Now it shifts over. And we're going to come down here, drag it down one more time. And we're going to shift it over again, like that. Boom. And I think, yeah, that one, this ended up over here on this side. And the only thing you have to remember is that when you do this, you actually have to turn that loop off. Because it's not going to end up working. You have to turn it off to do this next part if you wanted to like go over the loop or whatever. So I'm just going to come back up here and make sure my loops are off, and I'm going to drag this over. You'll have to do a little bit of editing, but you kind of get the idea. Now, again, we're in here. I can turn that off. I don't need to see that anymore. And I'm going to go here, turn these on. Oh, it's totally different from Logic. What happened? I don't want this. Okay. Oh, it's totally different from Logic. That's kind of my point, is that it's totally different from Pro Tools. It's totally different from Logic. We have to work differently in Ableton Live to get this going. And basically what I'm showing you are hacks that I've figured out to make it so we can work with comping tracks, which is much easier in Logic and Pro Tools. Realistically, if you're comping a lot of tracks, I honestly don't recommend that you do it in Ableton Live. But we're going to do this here. And we're going to just grab the beginning here because I don't want any of this beginning here. Boom. And now let's turn these off. And let's listen to this first one here. This is actually the last one that we recorded, so this one will probably get a lot to go up into our comp.
Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine.
Okay, so I like this first part here, so I'm just going to grab the whole first part and just drag it up like that. Now, if I wanted to keep it down there, I can hold down Option and drag it up, and it'll keep it down there. And if you really wanted to get into it, you could like slightly colorize these a little bit differently so you can see the different parts a little bit easier. So here, why don't we just do that real quick? It would make it a little bit easier to teach what's going on. So we can do this, boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. There we go. Yeah. So we got different colors here. That's a little bit too bright for my eyes. So we got this here. Now let's go ahead and see what's going on with the end of this part. I'm just going to start it from right here.
They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. Ugh.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Let's make this a little bit long. Well, we'll come back to that and do that again. Let's go down here and let's start from here.
Building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces.
Yeah, I like that part there. Boom, we're going to take that and we are going to hold down Option and drag it up. There it is. Hold on. This came from this. That's not the right. There's the color. There it is, cool. All right, now let's see where we can get the second part here.
Furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine.
Yep, that's what I thought. That one's pretty good there. So I'm gonna hold down Option, drag it up. There we go, cool. So now let's listen to this comped part.
Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. Ugh.
Yeah, nice. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn this stuff back on. So let's listen to our dogs and cats section here.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere. They don't care. We walk around all day picking.
Let's turn the poo. Pick and poo up part. Let's turn that back on. I forgot that I turned that off. There we go. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Turn that back on. Turn this down to about -8. Is that what it was? Give us a left and a right. Left and right. And like you said, this is very excessive, but this is something I would fix I would just do it like this, just real quickly, and then I'll fix this in my mix when we mix this later.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere. They don't care. We walk around all day picking poo up. I like furry little dogs. Furry little dogs. Furry little dogs. Furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs. Furry little dogs. Furry little dogs. Put your hands up. Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little dogs. Furry little dog.
That is so ridiculous. I love it. Maybe actually it'd be better without this clap here. So you can see I'm just muting things by hitting 0. Well, you can't see I'm hitting 0, but I'm hitting 0. So I'm just muting stuff by hitting 0. I had all these in here for a second. It actually didn't sound horrible. What we can do is duplicate all these tracks and just call these doubles. So let's do this. Let's call this one vocal double 1, and we're just gonna copy that and paste it. And paste it again. And paste it again. I put the wrong number in there. Okay, and we're going to do the same with these dogs here as well. Into a keyboard. Yeah, we've actually, it's been suggested, and I need to get it's because of the way everything's set up in this room, it's hard to get a camera up above this here. It's definitely something to keep in mind, but actually, I think pretty soon we're going to be back in school again and not online anymore. So that means these are an actual overlay for OBS. I'm not sure what you mean besides a camera. An overlay. Oh, we could. Oh, you mean where it puts it up on there so you can see what I'm doing? I do have that. I guess I could turn it on, but it doesn't. It's not the best because it's like a free one. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drag these over. This one's gonna get a little bit sloppy here, just because some of these dog ones were not the best. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're enjoying these. All right. All right, so we got this here, and we got the dog ones and the cat ones, and I'm gonna turn these way down because we don't want these. Oh, yeah, yeah, it would be hard to go to class every day.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. I like furry little.
Let's hear what the cats sound like.
Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs.
Awesome.
Building up energy so they can run around.
All right, I just trying to figure out where that part starts.
Building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your hands up.
All right, cool. We need to record this, put your hands up, and change that to put your paws up. And then we're just about done. We can definitely add some other sound effects and stuff in here, but I kind of need a break, and I think y'all probably need a break too. So what we're going to do here is in here, and this is going to come back to the Black Book official question, what you asked, which is a great question. How do I record over that? And I already demonstrated it once, but it never hurts to do it a second time. So one thing about Ableton Live that's really cool, it's different from Pro Tools and Logic, is that even though I've got this track record armed, we can still hear it. So if I hit go,
furry little dog, put your hands up.
Right, it doesn't really matter if you've got it, if you're recording onto it or not. You can still hear whatever's on there unless you're actually recording up here. So the shortcut for record is F9. Let's keep that in mind, and let's go ahead here. Check 1, 2, check, check, check. Okay, so I got that, and I'm going to hit play. And when it gets to the right time, I'm just going to record it. Put your paws up like that.
Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs.
Put your paws up. Awesome. Let's hear what that sounds like.
Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up.
Yep, looks great. And I think I like it so much that I'm actually going to duplicate it. And let's record it a couple more times. And
furry little dog.
Yeah, let's get this here.
Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs.
Put your paws up. Okay, let's do one down here as well.
Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs.
Put your paws up. Awesome. So now I just did a couple little little doubles here. Gonna get rid of all this stuff in here. Ba-doop, ba-doop. And the end as well. And now,
furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up.
Awesome. I'm going to pan them left and right. I'm going to bring these down in volume. So you're asking a question, what is my idea, what is basically my opinion on pitching around pre-recorded samples to create harmonics? So, word to your pets. I love you, AJ. So that's a great question, Black Book. The answer is I try to avoid it if I can, but if you need to do it, definitely use the right software, and the right software would be Melodyne, or I guess you could also use Auto-Tune as well, but I really like to use Melodyne for that kind of stuff. So Melodyne, and we actually had a class. If you go to my YouTube page and check out the YouTube page, there's some stuff about, I don't know E3, I don't know what that is. I just like Melodyne, what is it from Isotope is Nectar, and then Waves has Waves Tune. Any one that you can basically adjust the pitches on, like you record it in and you can adjust the pitches right there, I think those are really good. Melodyne sounds the most natural of all of them that I've ever seen. It definitely sounds the most natural, and the new version of Melodyne is really, really amazing. Elastic 3 Pro used by FL Studio. Actually, you know what? Elastic is, I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure it's used by a lot of companies, not just FL Studio. I think it's used or used to be used by Ableton, but I'm pretty sure it's also what they use in Native Instruments Tractor as well, and in Contact. I think it's been licensed out to a whole bunch of different companies, and so they all sound very similar-ish. Again, I'm pretty sure about that. I remember reading about this a long time ago, but my memory is not 100% perfect on this. So if I'm wrong, please don't come after me. But what I would say is that if it sounds good, definitely great. But the way that the companies like FL Studio and Ableton Live and the way they deal with readjusting pitches and stuff isn't quite as nice as the way Melodyne does it. And if you've ever, I would definitely go download the demo for Melodyne and check out Melodyne, because the way you can move things around is great for this kind of stuff. But my main answer still remains, you should definitely, oh yeah, okay, you got it. So definitely use Melodyne. I wouldn't even bother with the other stuff. If you've got Melodyne, then don't even worry about it. But if you don't have Melodyne, other things will work in a pinch. There are definitely ways you can do stuff in Ableton Live or FL Studio or Logic or Pro Tools or whatever. But they're not great. They're time consuming, and Melodyne just is super fast and it sounds the best. But the best thing you can do is just re-record it. Just re-record it, re-record it, re-record it. You can see how fast I can re-record this stuff. It takes me no time at all to do re-recording. All right, what was it? Word to your, what was it? AJ? Word to your pets. Yeah, we need to put that in here. In the end.
Furry little dog, put your paws up.
Okay, here, I'm gonna put that at the end. Get that down here on our vocal verse. We'll record it right into the comp because that's gonna be the easiest. All right. I'm not gonna listen to it. We don't need to listen to it. So I'm gonna turn off the. I'm gonna turn it to off. There we go. So yeah.
Paws up.
Yeah. Word to your pets. I don't know if y'all can see the little hand gesture that I made there, but that really helps. Hand gesturing is a really important part of the whole process. There you go. There we go.
Furry little dog, put your paws up. Yeah, word to your pets.
Awesome. There we go. Cool. So I think we got us a hit here. It only took us a couple hours. I mean, I literally started working on this beat. I mean, I did use beat loops and stuff from trap production kits. So, but I started working on this literally at like 9:15. So, you know, it's 12 o'clock now. And we have stopped and gone back a little bit, but you can see you can get a nice little thing going on here. Obviously, it's not done, but it's pretty good. Let's listen to it real quick. Absolutely Grammy nominee.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up. Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up. Yeah, word to your pets.
Okay, that's hilarious. Yeah, we could definitely add some other stuff in here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break. A furry party. Oh my goodness. We're in an educational institution here, Black Book. Let's keep it PG. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna take a break. I need to just grab some food from my stomach. Let's do a 15-minute break, and what we're going to do is instead of going back to Zoom, let's come back here because I want to talk to you all about MIDI stuff and kind of just explain everything I've been doing for MIDI stuff. Black Book, if you want to come back, it'll be 12:15. Everybody will be back here at 12:15. In the meantime, I'm going to put on some very serious music onto the page. So I'll see y'all in about 15 minutes.